Yeah, I don't understand why OBS isn't working, but we're seemingly able to go live through this. Okay. So, we look like we're finally live. Okay. Just for right now. Turn those off. Make sure the messages go through on YouTube. Okay, Rumble and YouTube are going through. Got Kicks messages on this side over here. It looks like we're able to go live, it seems. We were having issues going live through OBS to here, so at least this way it looks like we're able to go live. We're just doing it right through the browser, so can't really use all the overlays, all the other stuff like that, chat. So this is what we're gonna go with for right now. As usual, the last few nights we've been doing kind of like a let's smoke kind of deal, vibing and hanging out while doing these videos. Tonight, since we actually have this ability to go like this, we had things set up a little bit differently. So we are going to be going and doing it this way tonight versus doing it the way we were doing it the last few nights with doing it through the phone, and you guys are hearing everything going through there. So I actually might pull up another. Actually, pull up another YouTube page here and then open up. All right, I should hit that one there. All right, Botrix is in the YouTube chat now. Okay, good. Then, one second. All right, I got some tissue for my nose there. Alrighty though. So we're gonna be jumping into the video from Nux that was first started off here. It's one of the first videos we're gonna be doing, and then so we have two next videos I want to do today, chat. I'll add these links, everything like that, in the chat here in just a moment, and then I'll be putting them in the description too as well for over on Rumble and YouTube. But we have a actual Justice Warrior video I wanted to go through, as well as the Sahar TV one with the Tommy Robinson interview a little bit more, and then we do have the other Islam video I wanted to go back over now that we can showcase the video and then talk more about all this stuff in all of its full glory that I wanted to do versus the way we were kind of having to do it the other day with the phone. So this is going to make it a lot better to be able to do it this way. So let me go ahead and start linking video in here now, chat. That is the link there. And then all right. And then we got that over on Kick as well. Okay. Alrighty, so we got that going here, guys. So we got a couple choices tonight, 2 choices. So we have the Monte Cristo Classico. We got this bad boy right here. So got that one, or the Macanudo, or Macanito, or I don't know how you use it, but this is the Robusto Inspirito Black. This was the Italian. This was one of the imported ones, the Italian imported handmade cigars. So I had this guy. This was that orange tip one we had the other night. The one that had like the orange cloth tip on it. Where was that at? I actually still have the tip of that around here somewhere on my desk. Because I was playing around with that thing, little cloth piece here. But while I was at work all day, I was actually, if you guys haven't noticed, the edge of it, as you guys can see here, it's definitely been chewed on a bit here because I was sitting like this most of the day. Just chewing on it because it actually has a really good taste. Even pulling through it like this. Got it lit. It's got a good flavor to it. So it was just fun to just kind of, have it like that. So that's why I put it back in the tube, so I can enjoy it still a little bit later on. So I have that one there that I can still enjoy. Unfortunately, with the this one, I did end up kind of breaking this one by accident when I was trying to put it out. So I don't have all the rest of that one. This now Connecticut Reserve. I do have a little bit of this one left too. Just like the other one there, it's just kind of like one of those nice ones to just, even once it's done. Got a little nub there, but it's the paper on it's a little loose feeling though. But I gotta say, I do like the mellowness of this one here. So again, I got something like this, so I can just kind of hold on to it like this. Chew on it, things like that. I'm not gonna lie to you, it actually has helped with not vaping as much too throughout the day. Because I was kind of been trying to find ways to slow down my vaping because I kind of noticed that, with being a little bit more stressed out lately, um, I was getting a pretty, heavy hand with vaping there, to the point where like legitimately like I was killing some of my disposables, even like these 55K puff ones, fairly quickly, and shouldn't have to be able to kill these that fast. But when you're just stressed out, anxiety's getting to you and stuff, you're just sitting there ripping on one like this. After a while, you start to go through these pretty fast though. So I was like, you know what? We definitely need to slow down on it. Plus, that's 50 milligrams of nicotine. We don't need all that nicotine all the time like that. So I was like, how can I get something, at least in my mind, that would be better for me in that sense. So that's why I've been doing the cigars more. And it's kind of nice because I can puff on something like this throughout the entire day and feel good and like that, or just kind of chew on the ends of one like I was doing earlier today, and it just kind of satisfied me for the majority of the day. So because I had the other half of that, and then once I was done, I just kind of chewed on the rest of it. So this is the other one we got though. This is the Robusto Black, and it is actually a black cigar, which I love the way this one looks. This one's supposed to be coffee, espresso, or coffee, cocoa, and earth notes that we have in this one. This one is supposed to just be a mild and mellow uh, flavor on this one. Not very thick on the smoke either, or flavor. So this one will be a lot more chiller and mild. I was thinking that would be perfect for, especially like for like a Sunday, possibly one if I don't have the means to get another cigar. So I'm kind of trying to save this one possibly for Sunday. We'll see what happens. So I think we might go with the Robusto, the one I grabbed tonight here. So I cut the end off here on this guy. And it's got a, oh, it's not a double band, it's a single band. Very thick band on it. It's a nice looking band, though, I gotta say. I know some people like to keep those as their kind of like their memory of the cigars they have. They'll have like a little box of the bands, and that way they can keep them, and they'll try to go and take those to like cigar shops and stuff like that. And they're like, hey, do you have this guy in by any chance? Looks like part of the leaf got a little messed up right here on that end, but should be good. Ooh, it does have a really good smell, though. Definitely smell like the cocoa in the coffee. Getting very faint earthy notes on this guy. And for those wondering, I know some people will say this is sulfane. As far as what I've been able to research, these are not actually sulfane wrappers, as much as many people believe they are. These are actually made out of like a type of like pectin or like type of like clear plastic wood or plastic. I said plastic again, like a clear type of like like what is it chlorophyll type of thing, made out of wood that is breathable, so that the cigar can stay able to breathe through this, but also stay humid as well through these. So when you're storing your cigars, if you have the wrapper or like the jar still, the container like this, definitely recommend you keep your cigars in these. If you're like me, you're still going to be using them and stuff like that for a while, or storing them with other ones in a humidor. You're going to want to kind of keep them in the wrappers. A lot of people keep them in the wrappers, especially to help kind of so they don't marry the flavors between all the other ones too much, which is one of the reasons why I actually do that with even with my soaps as well, because I want the scent to stay 1 scent per brick, right? So just like your cigar, this scent, the flavor of that cigar, I want it to be that flavor, not the flavor of this one, and then all of a sudden it's got a little bit of flavor of Connecticut Reserve, and then maybe a little bit of which was this one again here? This was the My Father El Centurion. So this one, I gotta say, the My Father on this guy was absolutely fucking phenomenal. This is a Monte Cristo, so I actually have not tried a Monte Cristo yet. But I've had a lot of people tell me the Monte Cristos are really good and that they're really smooth and everything like that. But I saw these guys in the tubes. Just I don't know, the tubes really kind of like spoke to me. The marketing on these guys, love the way they look. There's a red, black, and blue one. So I grabbed the black one. The red one says buttery and rich, or rich and buttery. And it had like notes of almond, butter, and like a toffee. And I was like, ooh, that one sounded really good too. That'll be probably the next one I try to get. This guy here, this one was a medium mellow one, and it was supposed to have notes of coffee as well in it, and something else. But I tasted the coffee in this one a lot. And this is one of the, I think it's the reasons why I kind of was chewing on this one the most, was that, that's why I said it's got those marks in it, because the coffee note was just coming through really nicely. And you could just literally just chew on it and just like doing things like that. And it just tasted really good throughout the entire day. And it was it was a top 25 of the Cigar Aficionado Award too. So out of all the cigars I've chosen so far, that was the only one that has been bestowed that prestigious award. So, but and another thing too is like, I like, when it comes to vaping and stuff like that. With the vape, I can grab my vape at any point in time, and just, you hit it and rip it, right? And that's just kind of how they are. The cigar, they're designed to be something you take your time with, and you don't just light it up and suck it down and stuff like that when it comes to one of these guys. And that's the reason why I've been doing these like let's smokes and react to the to news and all the topics we're going through and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, this has been able to help keep me more relaxed and chill when I want to literally get knee jerk reactions to some of the topics that I've seen on the news, or like when you're watching all these idiots celebrate Charlie Kirk's death. It's just kind of like, you're like, what the fuck type of reaction. And instead of getting loud and angry and upset constantly, I gotta say, smoking a cigar during all this has kind of helped. And so with that, not just using, obviously as an epileptic, I use cannabis because I have epilepsy. So it does help me maintain the ability to function without having a seizure on stream or anything like that. For those that don't know, and it's not a cop out or anything like that. I do have epilepsy. I have three forms of seizures, so I do use cannabis to help with that. So, but I have been able to find that I've been able to enjoy a cigar in a lot of the same way that I would enjoy cannabis in order to relax and calm down the mind and stuff. So that is why I've been doing these videos. Now, again, I am not ever going to encourage anybody to ever go smoke or anything like that. Now, if you're already a smoker, enjoy a cigar with me, a cigarette, vape, whatever, hookah, whatever it is that you like to do. Um, if you're a person who has never, ever, 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 ever vaped, smoked, anything like that in your entire life, there is no reason really to start using nicotine at all. You'll never see me ever, promote that or anything like that. If you are to do something, I would say if you're somebody who's just like, well, I want to use nicotine because it's a stimulant and I want to use it to like maybe, just to help with the like nerves or whatever the case is, and you're over the age of 21, then I would recommend at least start off with something like knickknacks or zins or something like that, like a pouch, or even like the mint style ones like the knickknacks that are made over here in the Pacific Northwest in Spokane, Washington. So that way it can dissolve in your mouth naturally and everything like that. It's so much better. It's not destroying your lungs or anything like that. Obviously, the healthiest way to go is nothing in your lungs. That is another reason why I do like using cigars, especially as somebody who is a person who quit smoking. Like, yes, I like my vapes. I love the fact that they have flavor. They have, assortment different flavors, and the way they hit and everything like that. I really like these. However, these are affecting the lungs, whereas this is just going to be affecting the mouth because, contrary to what most people believe, even if you want to try to act cool, you don't inhale a cigar. Okay? Dark, how's it going, brother? I love you, buddy. Fuck, could he legalize weed here? Then sup. I like that. That was the first president. Then sup. I like that. And I get you there, especially when it comes to like medicinal cannabis. It's one of those things that I would rather see more places kind of embrace the medicinal side of it, especially for like anxiety, depression, so forth, so on. I think there's a lot of good uses for it too. But like I said, I found that I can use cigars in a lot of ways to do the same thing. And for a lot of people, are like, why don't you just light up a cigar already? It's like, again, it's a type of mental thing that it's like, okay, I gotta psych myself up for it. It's like you got to find the right moment in the exact second that you're like, all right, now I'm gonna cut my cigar. Now I'm gonna go ahead and light it, and now we're gonna start puffing on it and enjoying it while we do all this stuff. That's how it should be. Because again, the idea of a cigar is to just kind of take things and slow it down, relax, and enjoy, life and enjoy the experience, right? Things are kind of rushed by us all too much. People are constantly like, people smoke a cigarette to suck it down to get back to work and enjoy that nicotine, right? Well, enjoy the cigar, enjoy the smoke, enjoy the experience, and I guarantee it's a lot better than a fucking cigarette in that regard. I always end up cutting. Got about that much on this guy. I would say that these guys have a very unique packing too to the ends. So that's where the foot of it was I just cut. If I was wondering, this is the cap I just cut off of it. So if you guys haven't know, for some of those that don't know, cigars do have a different little end that's going to be marked up here. That's where you cut. This is where you're going to be smoking the side that's already open. That is the side you light. This is the side you cut, and then use for the inhale section. Now there are some that use like a tool where it'll just push the hole through, and it goes about down about like that far into it, and then that way you can draw without having to cut off the cap. Some people do that. I would like to try that a little bit here and there. But I don't know. There's just something about this old school, the old school vibe of just cut one off like that, doing it that way. Definitely get a little bit more debris, I will say. Ooh, that tastes good. Good. Like those protein energy bars. You might get like a Cliff Bar or something like that. It's kind of what this tastes like. I know some people might think that's kind of gross tasting, but I think they taste good. That's actually got like a chocolate taste. Ooh, that's actually really good. Don't know where I put my matches that I brought home, all my matches and stuff. And check the backpack here. Aha. There's my cologne. Oh, there's my AirPods. So I was trying to find those earlier for going live for using my headphones here. I was like, where the hell are my AirPods? They were still in the backpack. That's why. Okay. Oh, that was a cat hair on that. The only downside to matches, man, is it takes forever to get that even burn. A little too much debris on that one. Ugh. Oh, where the fuck did I put that tissue? I got a little bit of a leaf on my lip there. A little bit. No, more than I guess it's a little bit there. All right, chat. How you doing, though, Dark? It's good to have you in here, brother. It's good to have you in here. Okay, that's actually a really good tasting cigar. Holy shit. It smells good too. Like, it's got a really good smell to it. Definitely got a bit richer smoke too, and that ash is definitely a much whiter ash too. So, kind of curious how it'll be here. That's good. That's good. I like that, chat. That is a good cigar. Of course, the dipped area wants to kind of come off all of a sudden. Just a light peel on that. Thankfully, it's just where the dipped side is. Tired? I definitely get that. I definitely get that all too well, brother. All too well. Definitely makes me self-potate a little bit. Just a little bit too much, I feel like. All right. Let's go ahead get into the screen share portion. So I want to start with this first one here, chat, just because I feel like this is the craziest part of everything that's been going on with everything, which was finding out about the whole chicks doing the whole like, oh, let's go ahead and take a bunch of fucking, we're gonna take a bunch of what should we call it? The Tylenol, and they're poisoning themselves. There we go. Sorry, I had to mute myself over on the other side, over here on the other laptop there. That has such a good mouthfeel too. Holy crap! Like a lot of the other ones, like end up kind of like maybe burning or hurting a little bit when they're in the mouth for too long, but I feel like they're a little bit too hot. This one's like perfect, dude. This is like the perfect cigar. I definitely will be buying more of these guys here. That is for sure. All right, just making sure we get the chats going here. So our kick popped out over here, but then I got the, what should we call it, Rumble chat as well over here on this side. Oh, wait, maybe if I have it on, set on all. Maybe now. Hey, Derek, will you do me a favor? Just recopy your last message and send it through so I can see if the other laptop is pulling it through. Just want to make sure that the laptop's getting the chat messages. Or if anybody wants to send like an emote or anything like that over on Rumble or on YouTube, this way we can make sure that everything. Ah, there we go. Perfect. We're good. We're good to go. We got the chat working, so we are good. Knocking off some of this ash real quick. All right, so let's get into this here. Now, again, this whole thing, this press conference, one of the things, too, that I was really blown away by, right? So just to kind of preface all this, too, if I'm sure some of you guys have already seen all of this stuff going on in the news, right? With the whole, like, girls are taking Tylenol to protest, Trump or RFK, all that stuff. Mind you, these guys didn't come out with a study. They're just pushing the study that Harvard came out with. And they're not saying to not take Tylenol, but to limit how much you're taking, if at all, while you are pregnant. Oh, okay. Oops.
Female autists, welcome to a brand new video. This is going to be one of the greatest videos of all time. I'm not even going to lie. The libtards are specifically trying to give their children autism despite Trump. Trump has released a potentially unbelievable information regarding curbing the rising rates of autism in generations and in future generations, which most people would regard to be a good thing. This is potentially one of the craziest, most evil, diabolical downfalls of all time. The autist downfall is truly sad. Now, this video is going to cover this entire subject. I've seen some people talking about it in different areas. I have not seen anyone properly represent how diabolical this situation is. First, we have to see the breaking news medical discovery that Trump and RFK Jr. have released. We're going to look at the reaction. Then we'll look at the reaction to the reaction. And someone actually died. Someone died from overdosing on Tylenol to prove Trump wrong. We are reaching peak autism, ladies and gentlemen. What can I say? That's fucking crazy.
We have lost somebody because of this already now.
We're findings from our autism work that are vital for parents to know as they make these decisions. First,
and if anybody makes fun of RFK for his voice, I swear to God, I will literally lose my shit on you for being a complete piece of shit and a complete retard. All right? First of all, this man has done far more in his life than any of you will probably ever fucking do. Secondly, the dude had an absolute fucking horrible time with having to deal with the, brain parasite that he had. It was either brain parasite or brain disease. But it affected his vocal cords. It has affected his thing. And one of the most heartbreaking things that I've ever heard somebody say was that what he said is that he feels sorry for anybody who has to listen to him because he knows how hard it is for people to hear his voice. And I am fucking just absolutely, appalled that somebody has to feel that way. So, yeah, no, that's his actual voice. So to kind of give a backstory, when he speaks, he has to think about what he has to say. As most people are like, oh, think before you speak. No, he literally has to think before he speaks because if he doesn't, it won't come out properly. And that's why he sounds sometimes like he's kind of like stuttering. It's because he's trying to keep everything in line with what he's trying to say. And it actually physically hurts him to speak, but he still does it. So that is a big reason why RFK sounds the way he does. But legitimately, a lot of the other reasons why people don't like listening to him is because they're like, oh, well, he used to be a heroin addict and da-da-da-da. Dude lost his family in such a crazy way. He's gone through a lot of shit. And as far as I remember, one of the things I remember reading about when he was going through his heroin addiction too was that he was just so sure that he would be next to die, so he just kind of figured he'd go out on his own terms. He kind of just wanted to, live the way he wanted to live. His uncle and his father had both been assassinated and killed in horrendous ways. So it was like, dude, how long do I have before my ticket's up and everything else happens? So yeah, he lived the way he wanted to live, and yeah, it cost him a little bit, but in my opinion, RFK Jr. is probably one of the best Kennedys that we have, and he does a lot. He gives a shit about America. He really does.
HHS will act on acetaminophen. The
All
FDA
right.
is responding to clinical and laboratory studies that suggest a potential association between acetaminophen use during pregnancy and adverse neurodevelopmental outcomes in.
All right. So acetaminophen is the primary ingredient in Tylenol. Tylenol is the most popular, but there are many other ones. There's Tylenol, Acamol, paracetamol. They all kind of work with the same major ingredients, acetaminophen, and
Yep.
that, when ingested by pregnant women, can cause neurological defects in the child.
Primarily
Later
ADHD is what I've seen
diagnosis
here.
for ADHD and autism. Scientists of biological mechanisms linking prenatal exposure to altered brain development. We have also evaluated the contrary studies that show no association. Today, the FDA will issue a physician's notice about the risk of acetaminophen during pregnancy
Oh, shit.
and begin the process to initiate a safety label change. HHS will launch a nationwide public service campaign.
Which, by the way, Tylenol tells you already that it does not recommend any of its products while you're pregnant. Okay? So, if that is coming from the actual company itself, you might want to maybe think about that. And again, they're not saying to just not take it 100%, but to, maybe limit it, like limited how much you're going to be taking of it and stuff like that, especially with the fact that it can cause ADHD or possibly even autism. Now, again, it's not 100%. Now, this is something that, again, people are not taking into consideration. They are not saying 100% you take this, it gets autism for your baby, right? They're saying this is one of the many things that is linked to possibly children getting autism, and we're trying to stop this. So kind of like the whole rule of elimination, you just eliminate some of these things that are happening, then potentially you might be able to find what was causing the issue. And of course you have people be like, well, we shouldn't have to cure autism. Look, at the end of the day, I know we have talked about, especially like as a fan of Dune, that like, Mentats might be a person that's like, got a really high functioning form of autism. That does not mean, though, at the same time, that we should just let it go rampant. At that case, I mean, that's literally, that was a fucking school that helps form all that type of shit, and that they do that stuff at the womb of the baby and all these things like that. So again, we're not creating these things. We don't have a school for this. We don't. There's just so many things. It's like, okay, but that's not happening right now. So if we have the ability to actually cure it, so we don't have people who are considered socially inept and that might be considered a danger to themselves or society because they don't properly understand societal actual norms, then that's not a bad thing. That's just trying to help that person live a better life. It's like I don't understand how this is a bad thing. Like, I'll be honest. If it came out like if I had that I was like, oh, I have autism and I had the ability to cure it and do all this other stuff, I would do it. If I had the ability to cure the seizures that I have, I would do it. I don't understand why they all get so hell bent out of shape about this whole idea of wanting to stop autism. And again, it's not saying that people that have autism are bad people or that they're, not valuable to society or whatever the case is. I don't understand this weird concept that these people get with this shit too.
Pain to inform families and protect public health.
Important, man.
FDA also recognized that acetaminophen is often the only tool for fevers and pain in pregnancy, as other alternatives have well-documented adverse effects. HHS therefore to encourage clinicians to exercise their best judgment in the use of acetaminophen for fevers and pain in pregnancy
judgment.
by prescribing the
Best
lowest
judgment.
dose for the shortest necessary duration and only when treatment is required. Furthermore, thanks to the politicization of science, the safety of acetaminophen against the risk of neurodevelopmental disorders in young children has never been validated.
All right.
Prudent medicine, therefore, just caution and acetaminophen use by young children, especially since strong evidence also has associated it with liver toxicity. Found the use of acetaminophen in children can potentially prolong viral illnesses. FDA.
Because it's supposed to like shut down pain, essentially, right? That's kind of what Tylenol is mostly used
Yeah,
for.
yeah, it's
Either as
masks the
something
pain.
to lower
Masks
your
it.
fever or as something to stifle pain, like if you have a migraine headache or something. That's essentially the kind of shit that you use this for. However, it could elongate viruses. It could cause liver toxicity, and if you're a pregnant woman, it is very very clearly linked, very very likely, to autism in the child as well as to ADHD in the child. And we know that autism rates and ADHD rates are literally through the roof.
I've new research that mothers, children, and families, in addition to a possible and connection to autism for pregnant women, infants, and toddlers, our research has revealed that folate deficiency in a child's brain can
Keeping the
lead to
band here,
autism.
chat.
So this is the abridged version of the statement that they made. This is Trump, RFK Jr. making this announcement, essentially saying, "Hey, moms out there, talk to a doctor, protect yourself." Honestly, there is this information out there. You don't want your kids to get autism if you can avoid it, and try your best to take care of yourself. And it turns out it increases the rate of autism by multiple times, by like at least 4 to 10 times, according to what they said. And that's crazy. That's a crazy amount of
4 to 10 times
in
increase.
rates,
That
by the
is
way.
pretty
That's
a
fucking
huge
nutty.
increase. Yeah.
Maybe it doesn't account for the extreme amounts of increase in autism, but it surely explains something, and it's really, really scary. So anyway, he dropped this. Now, in my opinion,
Especially when you start to
this is
see
a
how
universal good thing.
the women
If this
start
is
to act
true,
here afterwards, you
this
can
is a
understand why this might be a bigger
fantastic
case.
thing
You know what I mean,
that we
chat?
now know the reality, and that is why you have to do your absolute best to try to avoid this, right? When you're a parent, you want to bring a child into the world, you want to give it the best life you possibly can, obviously, unless you're a leftist. Now, leftists are the
Unless you're
party
a
of
leftist.
child genocide, right? They're the... Sorry to put it that way. They do a
He's
million
not
abortions
wrong.
a year in
He's not
America. A
wrong.
million abortions a year in America. Okay,
A million abortions
99%
a
of
year
those
in
fucking
America.
abortions
Jeez, oh, pizza,
are
that's
literally
insane.
done purely for convenience. All right, only 1% is rape. Only is rape, and
Only 1% of those abortions are rape. Like as a Christian, I don't believe that abortion is a birth control. I believe that it should only be used if a woman is raped, incest. It's gonna cause the birth of the baby would cause the death of the mother. Um, fucking, if anybody wants to try to do the whole like what Charlie Kirk even said that if his own daughter had that whole thing, he would more or less ever take the morning after pill. When people were like, "Oh, would you be doing this to your daughter?" And he expressed that ideally you had to hold those convictions. So yes, he would want his daughter to think about potentially keeping it at first. Doesn't matter how or why at first, because again that's potentially his grandchild. But he's like, but at the end of the day, I would most likely ask my daughter to take the morning after pill so that way she wouldn't have to go through the trauma and all that other stuff. So, which would make sense. And yet you still feel that would fucking try to act like as if, he was gonna, be totally chill that his daughter was raped and all that stuff like that. Have they ever heard of a condom? Apparently, I guess, like, condoms, I guess, just don't ever get used at all. I don't even know how the industry is still alive at this point. And I'm not even joking, Dark, because you say that, right? But it's like, one, obviously most people that commit rape, I guess, they really don't care about them getting caught, I guess, because you would think they would want to wear a condom so they wouldn't get caught, and then maybe dispose of the condom away from the victim so she doesn't end up taking your condom and then using it against you. Because again, there's also retards that do that shit. They'll use the condom, but then they leave that there, and then of course their victim now has the complete evidence. You absolute fucking, which I'm glad. Obviously, the victim then has a way to stop you, but it's like you were that evil and stupid to commit rape, but you didn't even have some level of smarts to be like, I should try to not get caught by doing this thing. And you fucking glad you do, but God, just don't be dumb enough to fucking commit rape. How about that? Don't be an evil piece of shit. How fucking hard is it to not do that? You know what I mean? And then again, it's like fucking for the people who do have sex and stuff like that, consensually and everything like that. As Dark said too, it's like, please use a condom. Do not and that's also another thing too. It's like, why is it kind of like at that point it's being forced to be all on the girl side? Is she either on birth control or, is she gonna get an abortion or is she taking the morning after pill? All this stuff like that. It's like, first of all, abortion is not contraception. the morning after pill really is not contraception either. That's kind of an emergency case. The only really contraception that you have is a birth control pill, which yes, that or the IED that's put into the arm or to the coos. But you know, dude should be wearing a condom. You know, yes, yeah, no, I get that. I was just making sure I covered the other aspects. I know somebody would possibly, question or ask about that, so I wanted to make sure I covered the other aspect. But yeah, no, for the fun aspect of it though, yeah, no, 100%. It's like, dude, like guys should be wearing condoms. Girls should ideally be using birth control. It's a two-party system in that sense, in my opinion, right? It takes both sides. Both sides should be attempting to do what they can. So this way that you can better plan for these things to happen, right? So that way you can be like, okay, you know, we want to have kids now, cool. And that's the other thing too, is I think the biggest problem right now is people have been brainwashed into this idea of like, oh, I can't have kids. The world sucks too much. I can't have kids. And it's like, you know what, though? That should not be why you don't want to have children. Because, again, your kids and the next generation could be the generation that saves this fucking world. Truly. And I'm being honest about it. Like one of the things that, even Charlie himself said that, one of the most important things you could do is have kids, have a family, starting a family. That's one of the most important things you can do. And I think for these moms that are doing this to what? To be like, I got one up on no, you didn't. You've literally harmed your own child and yourself. And now we have a lady who's dying because of it, which we'll get into that one here in a bit. Here,
health risks combined makes up less than 1%. All right, truth nuke. This is the modern day Holocaust.
Exactly. I've seen parts of this
people
real
aren't
quick.
ready for the truth. They're too busy castrating their children in schools to actually worry about murdering them in the womb. So this is Dr. Mike. Dr. Mike made a video. It's a little bit diabolical. Doctor reacts to Tylenol press conference. All right, worst ever. Immediately, from this fucking title thumbnail, Dr. Mike might be a little bit retarded. Listen, he's obviously a guy. He's obviously a dude. He's a fellow. He's a gamer. We love him. He's goated.
A little bit more potent than the
he's
other
obviously anti-Trump. All right, like, dude, anyone that does this shit, they're all anti-Trump. Like, let's be real. This is an anti-Trumper. You know what's happening. But then you click on his video and you start wondering, wait a second, what is his perspective?
You're bothered to even check? Anyway, let's zoom out and look at some real information.
All right.
In 2020,
so again, he spent 8 minutes saying that the press conference was done terribly. It's all a lot of hooey. These are not scientists. They don't know what they're talking about. And then he's like, all right, but now let's take a deeper look.
21, over 90 scientists signed a statement that pregnant women should be cautious with Tylenol. Not to stop it, not to ban it, just to be cautious.
Exactly.
Which really, I feel like that should always be the case with medications. Fast forward, the biggest study came out this year in Sweden, not in the US, looking at over 2 million children. When they compared siblings, one who was exposed to Tylenol, one not, boom, no increased autism risk.
But they don't
really powerful.
Why is nobody talking about the increase though in ADHD though? Right? The ADHD though is higher increase, but yes, obviously some cases it says that autism isn't. But then there's some cases that say that it is. You know what? This might be a diabolic question, but which is cheaper, a box of 9mm or Tylenol? Damn. Technically the Tylenol. So I guess I can see where they're going at. I get it. But at the same time, like I don't. Again, I don't wish for anybody on the left to hurt. Really hurt themselves or, really actually like die and stuff like that. In my harshest moments, I really do just want them to fucking be educated better and come to Jesus. But I am not so naive to know that there are some people out there that they are just not beyond help. They're just beyond fucking help. All right. And them removing themselves out of the societal gene pool, it's just making it so that the rest of humanity will actually, potentially get along better. I'm just saying there is a silver lining to all of this.
Because siblings share.
So essentially, Bro walks out. He says, listen, there's some data this way, there's some data that way, but he would advise lowering it because of multiple investigations, like the one I just showed you.
In the U.S., looking at the big feel like to stop it statement that
where there is this consensus statement: paracetamol used during pregnancy, a call for precautionary action. You should slow it down. Essentially, not trying to be
That was
rude
in
here.
2021, by the way.
But essentially, Dr. Libtard should be saying, thank God Donald Trump blew the whistle on this. Now a lot of people would be aware that there are adverse effects, and they would actually try their best to be careful about overdoing it, right? You would think. But Dr. Libtard essentially takes this whole video to say, yes, there's truth to what they say. Yes, people should mediate the amount of Tylenol that they take. Yes, they shouldn't take too much Tylenol.
Why is
yes,
that
you should
even
talk
a
to the
thing you
doctor.
really even
However,
say,
the press conference
you know
was
what
so
I mean?
bad, they did such a bad job talking about it, and the whole thing is just like, it's kind of sad, I'm not going to lie. It's really, like, you can skip to any point in this video, and he's just kind of criticizing how they're talking.
This is based on what I feel.
Scientific
What
press
I feel?
conferences are not supposed to be about how you feel.
What I feel?
It's not even about how experts
Oh
feel.
my
It's about
God.
what the evidence shows
Oh
and to
my
what
God.
level it shows it.
I'm not.
He said, I feel like it's dangerous. Holy
Yep.
shit.
How dare you say it?
Feelings.
How dare you
Yeah,
say he
this is the gayest
feels
shit of all
that
time.
way?
I'll be real. This is like, bro, he's the president of the United States. He's not a scientist. He's not a doctor, right? From reading studies, he feels like you should be cautious. Feel? So anyway, Dr. Liptard definitely did an analysis of all time on this. It was one of the analyses of all time. So anyway, Tylenol, actually, this is from 2017.
Go
For those of
fucking
you
figure,
counting,
chat.
this is 8
Go
years ago.
fucking figure.
8 years ago,
Literally,
Tylenol made this statement.
2017.
We actually don't recommend using any of our products while pregnant. Thank you for taking the time to voice your concerns today. Now, this is really fucking interesting. All right, not gonna lie, this is really interesting. So all the people that came out there to say Trump is a load of hooey, Trump is retarded, JRFK Jr., complete retard, they're all crazy, they're lame, they're gay, we don't like how lame and gay they are, they're liars, we don't
The
love them.
Clandis Owens
Turns out
fucking line.
Tylenol admitted this 8 years ago. This is what we call a colossal Donald Trump W that he is bringing attention to this, and it's actually backed up by the official Tylenol company. Tylenol company themselves say this. So DJT once again takes a W. Libtard L. Now the Libtards, so obviously everyone reacts to this shit. It's insane. And there's more old posts from Tylenol. Congrats on your upcoming
I love that. More
edition.
older ones,
So
too.
exciting. It'll be great to touch base real quick since we haven't tested Tylenol to be used during pregnancy. Oh, call us when you can at this number. Okay. We actually don't recommend using any of our products while pregnant. Okay. Thank you for the shout out, Carrie. Just make sure you talk to a doctor before taking Tylenol while you're pregnant. Okay. If you're pregnant, nursing, seek the advice of your healthcare professional before using Tylenol or any other medication. It sounds to me like they know something. All right, not gonna lie. Not trying to be rude here. Not trying to overstep my bounds. But Tylenol did not want pregnant people to take their fucking, they did not want pregnant women to take their shit.
Nope.
All right, not trying to be rude here.
No, they did
That's
not.
where we at. That's where we at.
But lo and
So,
behold,
Donald Trump said it.
they all
Everyone
doing this
crashed
because
out,
it's
you know,
like,
Dr. Mike
they
Video
said not
talking
to,
about
so
how
I
it's kinda
should.
hogwash,
Because,
sort
you
of.
know, how dare I
asterisk.
use common sense?
But turns out there's just
Common
an
sense is
endless
not so
amount of
fucking
these, and
common
people are going
nowadays,
back
guys.
to
I
this
really
old
don't
tweet,
know what the
and they're just
fucking
like,
say about this
holy
anymore.
shit,
It's
wait a
sad to
second.
see
So Donald
how
Trump
little
said a
common
thing.
sense
Everyone crashed out on Donald Trump,
is
and
even a
they're
thing
so mad at him.
nowadays.
They're making believe that Donald Trump is pushing a fake agenda to distract from Epstein. By the way, this is a real, actual, unironic argument. Look at this. You know what's more dangerous than Tylenol? Pedophiles. Relieve the Epstein.
100%. 100%, Dark. You're absolutely correct. I mean, especially when you're pregnant, right? Because you're obviously not just consuming for yourself; you're consuming for another, human being, and you have to also take into account too that when you're taking in, only a portion of that is going to you. A good chunk of that is going to the baby, right? So, like you say, you gotta be like, oh, hey, if I'm gonna be drinking sodas, obviously you shouldn't really be doing that, but you should probably eliminate how much of it you're drinking. If you're drinking a bunch of even juices, things like that. Exactly, yeah, and a lot of times too, like a lot of the times that when we feel bad and stuff like that, it's a lot of times more orientated to what we're eating than it is so much that our environment. Because some people be like, "Oh, I went outside without a jacket, I got sick," but it's like, well, reality that might have been one part of it, but your actual diet is the other reason why you're getting sick so easily. And I'm first to admit too, my diet is complete shit, but luckily for whatever reason, knock on wood, I haven't been able to get sick like I probably should be. I chalked that up to like my crazy ass my crazy ass immune system though too at the same time. So that's ultimately why I always feel like I'm a little bit safer when it comes to that at times. But you know, but that's not always for everybody else though too. You know what I mean? So
get to that later. A lot of people are trying to make believe that the Tylenol hoax is literally something that is being used by the president
the rest of this for
to
tomorrow.
avoid talking about Epstein. Now, this is pretty diabolical, if I do say so myself, and a little bit retarded. Now, that person's mom probably took Tylenol while she was pregnant. Not trying to go too far. But, dude, the reactions have been insane. It's just like, Nani? This old tweet from 2017? What? 250,000 likes? Oh my god, dude. I'm so happy people are noticing. Now, here's the interesting thing. If you look up Tylenol overdose symptoms in Google Trends, you will notice that, well, you know, it wasn't super high. August 25th, September 4th. It started going up around the time that, you know, Donald Trump made his announcement, and it shot up 2 days later. It's almost like people are overdosing on Tylenol in the United States of America over the last day at a increasingly terrifyingly high rate. Now, why would this happen? Why would these people who not only did the president say that Tylenol is linked to autism in children, and the official Tylenol account say, don't do that shit. Why are people overdosing on Tylenol? Bro, what are we doing? Darwin is truly at his greatest work.
He really is.
If you look at the back of the Tylenol,
I'm not a fan of Darwin either.
Tylenol, you know, extra strength value pack random thingy at the back, it literally has, in tiny letters, ask a doctor or pharmacist before you use if you are pregnant. Oh my god, Darwin Awards, working overtime. It's literally there on the fucking box on every single
and it's been there for fucking
Tylenol.
years too. It really has.
This is absolute insanity, Mero. This is the Tide Pod spinoff no one expected to see.
The Tide Pod spinoff.
Multiple American nurses are now confirming a major surge in women being rushed to the ER after overdosing on Tylenol. How did we get here? It's just to spite Trump. It's just like they just want to spite Trump, man. Is that not insanity?
Yeah,
Trump
just to spite him. Just to spite him,
like, let's fucking kill ourselves and our children. Is this not peak retardation? So this is an American ER nurse confirming that there is a major spike in women being admitted to the ER because they took too much Tylenol.
Okay, so this is happening.
Right.
So I have a friend that's a nurse, an ER nurse, and lately...
This skit became a million times funnier overnight because reality is these people will literally poison
the guy who did the
themselves
skit
and their
about the
children
oxygen one.
to spite Trump. All right, literally. Hitler breathed there. What about you? What about you, everybody? All right, so people are like, yo, if you didn't want to believe RFK, maybe believe Tylenol. Like, literally, stop killing your children. What are we doing?
Exactly.
What are we doing?
No, this is where it gets sad, though.
This is great. Breaking news. This is pretty fantastic. Here's a Libtard Crash Out, episode 4 billion.
So it's about, you know, it's going to be 6 a.m. finally.
All right.
And
what happened?
for those of you who don't follow me on Twitter, I recommend that you do.
Sure.
I got a call, very frantic
Dude,
call.
You know, and Coke is one of the worst colas you can drink just because of like how acidic it is. You know what I mean? So like, I totally get that too. Like, I know a lot of people who end up having to stop drinking this because they're like, oh, as much as I love drinking it, it's so bad for you. And it's like, even when I was with my ex, Shauna, she would drink Dr. Pepper because it was a lot less acidic. And then I started doing the same thing, and I realized that I was drinking Dr. Pepper way more just so I could have a soda like that. But that's why I drink Mountain Dew primarily, is because even though it's like, it's definitely got that like zest, you know, that acidic vibe to it. It's not like so corrosive. It's eating away a fucking like a penny in my stomach, you know. So I still drink, sadly enough, the same amount of Mountain Dew, but legitimately though, I have cut out ideally most of like all the cola out of my system outside of just a Dr. Pepper, maybe like here and there, you know, honestly. So
4 o'clock in the morning.
What happened at 4 o'clock in the morning?
A husband whose wife is now dying of liver failure on a ventilator in an ICU.
That's crazy.
Because she was trying to prove that Tylenol doesn't cause autism because of what Trump said on the news. Mind you, that's a Harvard study. Now, whether or not you believe the Harvard study or not is not the issue here. The issue is that she's somewhere between 23 to 25 weeks and she overdosed on Tylenol.
That's crazy.
And she's going to die. She's not going to come off that ventilator.
Oh,
that's fucking sad.
Yeah. And the guy got my phone number from somebody. Somebody gave it to him. I mean, guys, it's early in the morning. I'm still in Hello Kitty sweatpants in my gym trying to work out. And she's gonna die. It's gonna be, let me tell you something about Tylenol overdosing and death. Is that if you aren't administered the antidote, it is a very slow and painful death.
God,
Okay,
it's so
because
sad.
Tylenol, as well as Benadryl and aspirin, are the 3 most common OTCs that
Yep.
people will typically try to unalive themselves with, so I don't get censored. But now people are just taking massive amounts of Tylenol to prove Trump wrong.
This is crazy.
I mean, weren't these the same people who put Harvard, Fauci,
I was getting there. I was getting to
and
that.
the pillars of science
That's
on a
right,
pedestal?
man.
And now they're
excuse me, I have taken 5 boosters for the COVID vaccine. I still wear masks. Anyway, I'm overdosing on Tylenol. Call me back. Holy shit, what are we doing?
refuse to believe it. Like, I don't believe it either.
Literally suicide by retardation, man.
I'm also not going to go overdose on Tylenol either. And it's just so sad because he has to make the choice of them going and
I feel so bad for these people. Like, all of the indoctrination and manipulation and retardation that they went through to get to the point that they kill themselves.
Yep.
Because an orange man said, protect your baby.
and trying to emergency deliver this baby, and the baby may not survive.
Because if I could handle tea more, I would do tea more, honestly.
And remember, guys,
but
preemies have
honestly, I like
complications
chai
even
tea.
if they
Chai
do
tea is the
survive.
only tea I really like the
didn't
most,
ask him if he
outside of
had
like
more
certain black
children,
teas.
so I mean,
But
let's
I do
say
like chai tea.
This woman
I've
did
been thinking
they
about
had
trying to
more
get more into
children.
chai tea.
They lost their mother. Baby's not going to grow up with the mom. He lost his whole life.
If the baby even
His
survives.
died too. All because of TikTok challenges, guys. Everybody wants, like, well, not everybody, but maybe these crazy liberal women. They, like, literally hate Trump so bad that she killed herself and her baby, potentially. I'm just like, I don't even have words for this because it's such a waste of life.
True.
It's such a waste of life.
This is crazy.
Like, this was a preventable situation.
This is
This
so
situation
sad.
didn't even have to exist.
Mhm.
It wasn't like she.
And the media is going to blame Trump for this. You know that. Media blames Trump for women
Yeah, 100%
overdosing
gonna be blaming
on retard
Trump.
pills.
And he's not wrong
This is
with
crazy.
that too. Like,
It's
the media will
tragic.
tell, like,
Holy
you just
shit.
blame Trump.
Woke up and was in a car accident, a freak car
Like, oh,
accident.
he should have
or
never said this
something
about
fell off a
Tylenol, and
building
it's because of this
killed her.
it's getting people
She
dead.
willfully did
So
this herself. So I don't know. What are you guys saying? I've got to stay off TikTok because that's all the nonsense.
yeah,
that I
a
keep
fair
seeing
point.
right now.
I
So
always took
there are
free
thousands
drinks when
of
I was at
women
work,
that are
and
taking
even if we
Tylenol.
only had
Some
like something like that, I would take
small
like some like black
overdoses, some
sunscreen
big-
tea,
This
with
lady's
some
dying.
sugar in it,
This lady's gonna
make
die
it sweetened,
because she hates Trump so much. She
throw some
killed
lemon in
herself.
there.
And this is the media environment that we're in, where the radical leftist men will literally take weapons and shoot Charlie Kirk or shoot at ICE agents or literally try to murder people. And the radical leftoid women will
cigar
fucking
smoke
kill
in here from the
themselves.
other cigar that I
This is
had.
where we're at. What? This is where we're at, man. This is crazy. Imagine dying from Trump derangement syndrome. So
It's funny
anyway,
enough, out of all the cigars,
very
dude, that's
MAGA
the
Harvard
thickest
University
cigar I've
had
had
this to
actually
say
so
about
far.
Tylenol
When it comes
situation.
to smoke, all the
I
other ones have
conducted a
not been
rigorous
that
review
thick at
funded by
all.
the Grand National Securities of Risks, blah, blah, blah. We found evidence of association. So this is everyone, right? Everyone that actually researches says we found something to it. Maybe we didn't find everything to it, but we found something to it. Of course, the worst part, and in my opinion, right here, when you have a governor doing stuff like this, too. That lady that we just heard about, her blood is absolutely on her hands because she's retarded. But her blood is also on the hands of the mainstream liberal apparatus that's fucking retarded. Governor J.B. Pritzker had this to say. No evidence, no science, just solutions. No solutions, just Trump peddling another dangerous lie, this time about Tylenol and autism. Meanwhile, the actual Tylenol account says you shouldn't do it if you're pregnant. But Governor Pritzker knows better. It's truly heartbreaking. Now, the memes have been amazing, don't get me wrong. The face you make when your mom took Tylenol during pregnancy. Like, dude, people...
That is the prime example of why you shouldn't take Tylenol while pregnant. You'll get another Greta. Just saying. Give me 1 second, guys. 1 second here, chat. So I was looking. What was? Alrighty, chat. So yeah, I am apparently missing money, chat, is why I'm irritated right now. Because my sister and I went to the fucking gas station. And I was like, okay, well, after my stream here, I might go get a soda or something. Expecting that we still had some fucking money left over from buying only 3 fucking candy bars, which was all we bought. I guess the fucking fat cow of a fucking dumb cunt that works at the fucking gas station couldn't be smart enough to fucking give us the change, so I really, really fucking hate this fat cow of a fucking ginger that works up there. That is a soulless dumb cunt that does not know how to fucking do her job. And legitimately fucking doesn't even know how to put apparently soda in a bag without fucking knocking over your sodas. So yeah, this dumb bitch doesn't know what to fucking do or how to do her goddamn job. And like the whole fucking, you know, the 9mm Tylenol fucking joke, definitely wish would apply to her. You know, just saying. Just fucking saying. Because, yeah. Talk about a massive waste of space on that one. Like, she didn't hand you the change, did she? Yeah, no. There should have been change for the $20. And she always does that, too. She always does the thing like, oh, yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot the change. It's like, so your till will now be off. So she'll get, hopefully, fired for that. Because that'll mean that she didn't give change to a customer, which means that she stole money from the customer. Unless she pockets the money and puts it in her pocket later on, if she actually realizes it. So that way her bosses won't notice it. But then they'll see her taking money out of the till and putting it in her pocket. So I'm really hoping she gets fucking fired, the fat cow. So, yeah. Really have no fucking care. Because again, like, just you know, for shits and giggles here, let's pull up the calculator real quick, right? So, 389 plus 369 plus 489, 1247. So I should have gotten $8 back. $7 to $8. That was never handed to us. So that's what I mean, dude. I'm so fucking tired of these fucking idiot people that work in customer service. They don't know how to do their fucking job. Again, any fucking leftist LGBTQ person, just please fucking go, like, get on a rocket and send yourself to the fucking sun because you're clogging the societal fucking drain. Like, jeez, oh fucking Pete's, dude. So fucking tired of any fucking leftist trans person. So done.
I'm not gonna lie. People.
Again, this fat cow just steals money from you if you go to that gas station just because, again, she's a fucking retard. And then does the thing of like, oh, well, if they don't notice it, maybe I can get away with it. It's like, and this fat bitch has constantly been, like, caught drinking at work constantly. That, like, she literally just got in trouble to the point where they didn't let her, like, put her on the schedule for 3 weeks. And, like, life was great the entire time. She was not there. Every fucking time we went to the gas station at that point, no issues, no problems. People put the fucking shit in the bag properly. They're giving you back your change. That fat fucking cow. And it's like, oh, I don't like men. I'm a feminist.
Have been cooking. All right, not gonna lie, will not lie to you. The memes have been amazing. Like, bro, one of the most basic insults of the modern era is you have all the markers that your mom took Tylenol during pregnancy. It's like the roundabout way of calling you autistic. Don't take Tylenol. Don't eat poop. Do not eat poop, liberals. Liberals, do not drink your piss. Do not do it.
Yeah, no,
I know it's yellow.
Honestly, they should.
Do it, liberals.
They should.
Don't drink your piss. Bro, this is what we're dealing with, man. This is do not breathe. Do not breathe.
Let the Darwinism do its own job.
That's how you have to fucking talk.
Sort out the rest.
This will not hurt my baby. 23 years later, bam, literally disproven. Crazy how that happens. It's crazy how that happens. Literally disproven. 23 years later, bam, look who pops out. Look who pops out. Yeah. Obviously, it was a lie. Obviously, the people.
I'm sorry if I was the parents of Harry Sisson, I would kill myself because I obviously failed as a parent. I'm not even joking. At that point, I would be like, I fucked up so badly. I obviously need to kill myself because there's no way that, you know, my kid will end up turning out like that, and they turn out like that. You're like, oh fuck, I've definitely failed. Obviously, there's nothing else I can do in life, obviously, because you failed that hard. If you create Harry Sisson as your fucking kid.
People who advocated for this are,
mind you, he is the scummiest of all liberals too. How many sexual crimes or how many women have come out against him, right, for like rape and stuff like that, or sexual assault? How many women have come out against Harry? I don't know how you spell his fucking name. Reports indicate 11 women have publicly accused TikTok influencer Harry Sisson of manipulating them into sending explicit photos claiming that they were in an exclusive relationship. One of the accusers is a domestic abuse survivor. Yeah, good job there, Harry, you fucking scumbag, fucking piece of shit. One woman, Carly, stated she was wooed by Sisson over 9 months before discovering his alleged deception. Another accuser, Hannah, who knew Sisson since they were teenagers, described him as a manipulative and predatory douchebag, more or less. So that's fucking hilarious. When the women discovered each other and confronted him, Sisson reportedly called them insane and attempted to coerce them into saying the photos were fake. Again, this is your liberal hero. Again, this is what I mean, man. Like, these fucking... If that's who your fucking kid ends up turning out to be, you failed as a fucking parent.
Are now popping Tylenol for likes on TikTok. That's right. That's right. The people that went in...
Dude, I did not know that this was a thing. I had to Google this when I saw this video earlier. That they did this in certain schools for, like, music classes during COVID. Can somebody tell me how this is supposed to stop COVID from spreading to any the other kids? This just looks really fucking stupid. Sounds good in the dark. Enjoy the power nap there, man. Enjoy the power nap. Oh, so hopefully have a good day at work when you go to work today, my man. But I mean, honestly, chat, how is this going to help you? Like, stop the spread of COVID? Honestly, just I really don't see how this stops this. You still have to get into these things, which means at some point you obviously are either not masked or you're wearing a mask and you're still standing near other people. And I just, again, dude,
to the fucking
so
COVID
dumb.
gas chamber.
I guess it's because they're like, well, you're breathing through the instruments, your breath isn't being spit out through the instrument, and blah blah blah. It's fucking so stupid.
Chambers. All right, these people are overdosing on Tylenol, man. These people are overdosing on Tylenol. I have 17 booster shots. I wear a mask whenever I go outside. I personally inject myself with retard serum all the time.
Dude.
Trust the science. Anyway, I'm going to go overdose on Tylenol right now because Orange Man said that it's bad. Literally, that's what we're dealing with. So, I obliterated a retard today on the internet.
Fucking
So this is
Pocahontas
Elizabeth Warren.
over here.
She is a senator for the United States. Republicans would rather shut down the government than make your health care more affordable. And I responded with, in my opinion, dude, first of all, double ratioed this bitch. And I hit her with, aren't you the hoe that took millions from Big Pharma to push their agenda and artificially increase the prices of pharmaceuticals purely so Big Pharma could make more profit, as well as shut down potential natural cheaper cures, forcing us to purchase overpriced medications? You can literally shut the fuck up and shove your affordable healthcare up your ass after you literally advocated for increasing the fucking prices, increasing the prices of medications across the world. All right? Literally, you increased the price of pharmaceuticals. And now you're crying about fucking random bullshit. Healthcare is becoming more expensive.
Bernie, though,
in other words, now illegal immigrants can't get healthcare. So I decided to kill her on the timeline and literally fucking ratioed her to oblivion.
She's Native American.
I hate this bullshit. I really do. It's super insane. Now, one of the big controversies, one of the large controversies is, you know what's more dangerous than children than Tylenol? Pedophiles. Release the fucking Epstein files. Now, apparently, massive, colossal conspiracy theory. The reason why Donald J. Trump is telling people not to murder their own children is because of Jeffrey Epstein. Now, I'm going to tell you the truth. All right, and this is going to be very offensive to a lot of people. A lot of people don't want to hear this. All right, and I'm sorry in advance because this isn't the politically correct thing to say because we're supposed to make believe the Epstein files is the only important thing. It is important. I agree, but I'm gonna break you. I'm gonna break you with this information. There were hundreds of victims of Jeffrey Epstein. There are over 1 million abortions a year. 1 million. Over 1 million. And 99% of them are done due to pure, sheer, and utter convenience and nothing else.
Sadly,
all right,
he
this
is
fucking Tylenol thing, this
wrong,
could
Chad.
save hundreds of kids, potentially hundreds of children. It really could. Now, don't get me wrong. I want to release the fucking Epstein files. I absolutely want to see the reality here. I want all the pedophiles to go to jail. Don't get me wrong. You can't just sit here and fucking doing this thing. All right, everything. Anytime Trump does something, this is literally adding to Epstein file. Trump killed Charlie Kirk because you want to die for the Epstein file, like retard shit. Watching pregnant women guzzle bottles of Tylenol to get likes on TikTok, says Red.
Yeah, and then he ends up reacting to the Rev video, where then Rev talks about all this here, which we just kind of went over. He does show like one or two other ones that Nux didn't talk about, but it's just the same thing on all that. Let's see where we want to go next to with all this. I mean, because we got a lot of the stuff we're still going to cover for the night here when we come to the news. Let's jump into the James Comey indicted portion here, guys. All right, boom. Okay.
Like the spirit of Charlie Kirk
This was
is actually
like 9 hours ago. Now, the opening of this was perfect.
I have prayed every day for this moment. Oh my! This is like the spirit of Charlie Kirk is actually getting involved. All right,
dude, for real. Like, Charlie was brought back to Jesus, and he was like, "Okay, I know we had you finish some work down there, but we still got some work up here we need to do. We're gonna be wrapping up the rest of these assholes and ass clowns that were down there on Earth."
Right, bro is pulling some heavenly strings out there. We are so back. I have been praying from the very beginning to get some incredibly rich, powerful, elite people that were like government officials and completely untouchable. I wanted them to die. Not literally die, obviously, but metaphorically go to jail forever and be absolutely obliterated. All right, these people have been manipulating and shitting on us plebeians.
Totally good. You saved that one there. Let's be real. I didn't want them to die. Thank you, Nux. Like, holy shit, man, that was bad. Like, Nux, calm down, dog. Like, I understand the hatred. Trust me. No, I've honestly been praying though and hoping that a lot of these assholes would be finally brought to justice, and that kind of like the whole Twitch being upheld to its own TOS, our government uphold its own TOS, which is its fucking constitution. Like if you have people, like how many times have we seen people commit perjury or fucking fraud, on a congressional hearing, and it's like, oh, but if that was one of us, we're in fucking prison for the rest of our life. We're getting fucking ass pounded. We'll never be able to sit down properly, never be able to take a shit properly ever again. But fucking, a politician doesn't fucking, it's all good. You know what I mean, guys? Come on. It's just another day at the office. What are we talking about here? You know what I mean? Like, are you fucking kidding me here? Like, if any one of us committed any amount of atrocities or fuck ups that these idiots do, we all would be completely fucked. Like, not even just a little bit fucked. We're talking about literally raw dog, fucking T-Rex dick and tiny little ass. You are fucking just fucked, okay? And every fucking time, we always see these congressional hearings. We're thinking this is going to be the one. This is going to be the one where the Congress and everybody finally goes, okay, we can't fuck this one up because the people are watching, and they still fuck it up. Or they let somebody commit perjury, and then it's like, oh yeah, it's okay, it's so cool. Yeah, you don't go to jail. So the fact that Comey has been indicted, I'm hoping, I am praying and hoping that we will see truly justice be dealt finally. I really do feel like this might be the one and only time, chat, we will see justice finally being dealt.
Forced us to ingest their poop on a daily basis, and we have had nothing except for sitting there and taking that shit. All right, this is a libtard. What libtards do when Trump says don't eat Tylenol, and then they overdose on Tylenol. Don't eat poop, and then the libtards eat poop.
Love that he brings up.
We have been eating poop for a very long time. Don't celebrate too early. They always get away. I am celebrating now because it means we're working on the right direction. All right, we are cooking. Comey James Comey, former FBI director, indicted. Oh, thank God. God is good. God is great. We are finally moving forward. God is fantastic. I wanted to take this moment to thank God for this one specifically. So, obviously the libtards are freaking out. They're saying that it's weaponizing the Justice Department, but we're going to fucking destroy them today. All right, so this is pure libtard genocide season. All right, the hunt is out. Obviously, do not kill anyone. Don't be violent. They're the violent terrorists. All right, we are the benevolent overlords that will, with law and order and biblical values, come back and absolutely fuck them in the ass, metaphorically. Back to those biblical values. Anyway, get your popcorn, ladies and gentlemen. Today is the ultimate FAFO.
Welcome back. Breaking right now. Tonight, a major update to a story we brought to you earlier in the hour. A grand jury has just handed down an indictment for former FBI Director James Comey.
Just want to make this clear.
I'm marking
This
this
is
one
very
here.
important. Everyone's
mark
saying
the
that
chat.
Trump indicted him. Trump is locking him up. No. Grand jury, ladies and gentlemen. Oh,
smell
thank
really
God.
good.
I just like seeing
this one too,
rich,
as well.
evil Lex Luthorian motherfuckers get absolutely obliterated. It makes me happy.
I definitely want to save one for
I'm a simple man.
Sunday.
Oath back in 2020. Let's bring in David Spun with all the breaking details.
Yeah,
David,
right
what can
about
you tell us?
Sunday.
Well, Jillian, we are waiting to get the actual details of the indictment. We're just told that an indictment has been handed up against the former FBI director.
Such a good
James
smell of the
Comey.
cigar,
I don't
though.
want to speculate.
Monte
on the
Cristo. I've never had a
actual
Monte
charges
Cristo,
yet until I see
so
the
I'm excited to
paper.
try this.
That's the only responsible thing to do. But we know that James Comey, the former FBI director, has been indicted. We're waiting to see if there's any sort of comment from the Justice Department.
So yeah, anyway, huge, fantastic, colossal W. He's apparently, allegedly, lied in Congress under oath,
Yep.
and there's evidence of it. Also breaking news from literally 4 minutes
But
ago.
I mean,
Donald
again,
Trump
they've always had evidence
4
of
minutes
these
ago.
things before. Let's
James
this actually
Comey
happen.
is a dirty cop. Make America great again. Fuck yes, dude. Literally, this is everything I wanted. I'm a simple man. An incredibly, incredibly simple man. I like seeing rich, untouchable fucks getting touched. I like it, man. I like it. Don't ruin the magic, Mr. President. Go after Obama next, please. All right? Listen,
Yes,
this
please.
is what I wanted. This is what I wanted. This is what everyone wanted.
Obama
So,
definitely
James
doesn't need to
Comey
be going
actually released
after.
the fucking hostage
If he
video
does it,
response.
dude, holy shit. Holy
It's
shit,
beautiful.
chat.
It's amazing. He's
Obama
obviously
definitely needs to
terrified,
be going
shitting his
after
pants
for
and stuff,
fucking
as you can tell.
treason.
My family and I have known for years that there are costs to standing up to Donald Trump.
Oh, you
But we
piece of shit!
couldn't imagine ourselves living any other way. We will not live on our knees, and you shouldn't either. Somebody that I
No,
love
he can't
dearly
live on his
recently
anymore.
said
Biden's
that
no longer
fear
there in
is the
office from
tool
suck
of a
his
tyrant.
dick.
And she's right, but I'm not afraid.
Good.
And I hope you're not either.
Oh, I'm not.
I hope
I'm
that you are
really fucking happy right now. Yes.
engaged. You are paying attention.
His
and
fucking
you
knees are
vote
so
like
fucking
your beloved country
broken in there,
depends
chat.
upon it.
That's what I'm doing. That's what I do.
He makes some
every
New York
day.
geisha
My
hook
heart is
pad.
broken for the Department of Justice.
No, my heart is broken for your family, which has to watch their, beloved father/husband go to jail for being a piece of shit, a demonstrable evil fuck.
But I have great confidence in the
Good.
federal judicial system,
That's good. That's
and I'm
good.
innocent.
All right,
So let's have a trial.
let's do it.
And
Oh
keep
yeah,
the faith.
that's it, baby. I'm excited. I think you should stream the trial. Bro is fucking terrified. All right, so this is dude. Obviously
Claims
shitting himself.
he's not-
manages to squeak out a
He's not
45-second
scared.
hostage
We'll
video.
see how that
saying
goes.
he's standing up to Trump by literally, allegedly lying in Congress. All right, under oath, pushing the Russia narrative, the Russia hoax, which was completely and utterly debunked.
Yep.
All right.
That right there in itself is at least in my opinion, chat. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments or in the chat right now. What you guys think about the whole Russia gate, Russia hoax, whatever you want to call it. That whole thing, the whole Hillary thing. It's crazy too because the people on the left that are like excited for this are only excited because of the fact that they believe that he's what cost Hillary the election. Now, mind you, if you think that's all that cost her the election, it was him. I hate to burst your bubble, but she was never gonna fucking win. She is just far too corrupt. She's far too corrupt. Like they could have had their chance with Kamala had they just not did the exact playbook that they did with Hillary. Like, I honestly think that maybe she would have had a better campaign against Trump had they not dumbly just go, hey guys, let's do the same fucking playbook we did with Hillary. It'll totally work this time. Yeah, yeah. Just because you didn't have all those emails deleted this time didn't mean it was going to work.
I've streamed the trial, please. I would love the content. Bro is getting obliterated. Anyway, so this is a glorious day for America. That's right. No one's above the law or something. Isn't that what the Democrats say? Now, the libtards are losing their mind. Former FBI Director James Comey has been indicted for obstruction of justice and making false statements. All right, that's pretty good. We love that. Definitely follow me on Twitter. The libtards, oh my God!
I love
you
that.
wield the justice system against political opponents.
What about
Biden?
This is a fascist.
What about Biden? Literally Hitler.
How long, chat?
Also, the libtards, 700 years in prison for a sitting president of the United States with 4 separate criminal indictments against Donald Trump. All right, aside from the civil indictments against Donald Trump. All right, literally fuck yourself, with all due respect. All right, literally, with all due respect. The dildo of consequences rarely comes lubed, okay? All right, listen, man. I hate to be rude. Don't want to be that guy.
I love that line. I love that line. The dildo of consequences rarely comes
no legs
lubed.
to stand on. I personally fully support the no one is above the law mentality.
Yeah, no one.
So I didn't even need this extra level of hypocrisy clapped onto it. But every single libtard that tried to get Donald Trump, a sitting president of the United States, arrested and imprisoned for 700 years, doing their absolute best, and I say this without hesitation, their absolute best to destroy this man. They tried to slander him. They tried to jail him. They tried to kill him, to be clear. They even shut off the escalator on him, which is pretty diabolical. And realistically, this is what
the escalator thing. That and the teleprompter,
right,
and then the microphone. The fact that not only do they like, the escalator, like whatever, you know, I mean, yes, I understand that it is dangerous. He could have fallen at his old age, hurt himself, all that stuff like that. You know, so there is that, you know, whole like, you know, thank God for the fact that he was able to stop himself. Right? True. Okay. The fact, though, that they turned off the teleprompter, thankfully he's, you know, a charismatic person enough to be able to just, you know, wing that type of speech like that. But to cut the mic off, that when he went to go sit back down and ask his wife, hey, how did I do? She goes, I didn't hear a single word you said. That should scare anybody, that's literally how they're treating our president, just because they're all like, you know, well, we don't like the fact that, you know, he's, you know, siding with Israel and wanting to pull out of the UN and all this stuff. What has the UN done? What has the UN done lately? Literally, that was at all what it was built to, you know, to do. And how has it done it without trying to make money off the backs of either us or supposedly the people that they're protecting? Legit question. Like, legitimately a legit question. How?
And unfortunately, you are mega cooked. So, anywho, just wanted to say, Biden administration repeatedly indicts Trump. Trump admin indicts Comey. He's prosecuting his political enemies. All right, let's take a look at CNN. All right, Donald Trump indicted on 7 counts. All right, that's good, right? Donald Trump indicted 7 counts. Love that. Donald Trump indicted special counsel. All right, this is the president of the United States. We love that.
Chat.
Former President Donald Trump's 3rd indictment annotated. Former James Comey indicted Trump's effort to prosecute his political enemies. Fuck you.
Yeah,
sorry,
right?
Bro.
Like,
it's over. It's
my whole
over.
ass.
It is literally
Fucking
over.
CNN,
This was
fuck
really fun.
off.
Really appreciated this game. The game has unfortunately ended. The game is over. You lost, and you're gay, and you're retarded. It's not an easy game to be lost, gay, and retarded, but that's what the liberals and the Democrats have to do every single day. They have to wake up, brush their teeth, look themselves in the mirror, and they say to themselves, you're not going to be a today. And then they go out and be a like literally, it's almost like it's written in stone.
And they're going to get fucked.
So CNN sees no issue with jailing Donald Trump. That, no problemo. Former FBI Director James Comey indicted for perfectly logical, reasonable reasons Trump's effort to prosecute political enemies. We know how the game is played, and that's why I'm on the media now. Definitely follow me on Twitter, because I am annoying people daily. I am ratioing senators on Twitter, because those guys fucking suck. All right, listen, we're doing God's work. All right, I have increased security, and I am absolutely terrified. But we are fucking. I'm kidding. I'm not actually terrified. I actually have faith in God that
I love
God
that.
will
You have
He will protect me
security,
until it's
and
my
we're
time. And
absolutely
realistically, I
terrified.
am the media now. Fuck you. All right, that's the message. All right, so it gets worse. All right, or better. Some would even go as far as to say. Some say worse. Some would say better. I would say better. It would be such a shame if this declassified email showing that Obama and Comey agreed to hide the Russia hoax from Trump's NSA went viral. Damn, it would be really sad if this was public. Comey said it would be an issue as it relates to sharing sensitive information. President Obama asked if Comey was saying that NSC should not pass sensitive information related to Russia to Flynn. Comey replied, potentially. Wow, kind of diabolical, some would even go as far as to say.
That's treason.
Now, the reason why this is very funny, personally, the reason why this is hilarious,
the smacking of the mouth,
is because Obama might be next. Trump has already hinted multiple times that he's trying his absolute
he really
best
does need to go after Obama.
Get Obama.
Obama needs to be
thrown in jail for treason.
fucking treason.
I fully support it. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yep.
Fuck that guy. But this is amazing. And oh my God, I can't believe the Trump admin would indict James Comey. This is a threat to our democracy. Meanwhile, all the fucking libtard fucks surrounding Donald Trump's mugshot. This mugshot will remain as a testament to how retarded these people are. Like, it's truly a glorious, wonderful day when your enemies are this retarded. Now, this is Dinesh D'Souza. He's a Republican guy, and he's been having a victory lap. Right? The FBI secretly surveilled me. They allocated $100K to investigate my $20,000 donation to a college friend. They put me in handcuffs. That was Comey. Comey got this Republican dude arrested. Now it's him. I'm excited to see the former FBI director in handcuffs. What goes around comes around. Dude, this is the ultimate FAFO moment. People are unaware. People are completely unaware of the FAFO moment. And everyone fucking hated Comey. What should happen to Comey for allowing the FBI over-the-top raid on my family that caused the death of my unborn child? Everyone fucking hated Comey. This is the ultimate, like, FAFO moment. Like, we are taking culture back. We are taking our country back. Oh, this was just me ratioing politician. I don't know why I even had this tab open. As you can see, this is me ratioing politicians.
That's from the video we just watched.
We do it for fun. Definitely follow me on it.
We do it for fun.
Anyway,
I love it. I love
breaking news. This is amazing. James Comey's son-in-law, who prosecuted Jan Sixers, has resigned his position as assistant U.S. attorney.
How glorious, chat. How glorious is that?
The trash is taking itself out. Now, you probably,
it's beautiful.
with all due respect, don't understand how amazing this is. To uphold my oath to the Constitution of the country, I resigned as an assistant U.S. state attorney from the Eastern District of Virginia Department. Now, this is being reported in the media in probably the most disingenuous way ever. All right? This is being reported as, since Trump is violating the justice system so badly, even U.S. attorneys are retiring. Even U.S. attorneys are resigning. Motherfucker, this is not a U.S. attorney. This is James Comey's son-in-law. He self-deported. All right? We freaking take those, man. Absolutely every single day. So anyway, here's a video of James Comey allegedly lying under oath. I'm sure you'll enjoy it.
There should be no fuzz on this whatsoever. The Russians interfered in our election during the 2016 cycle. They did.
To be clear, he said this while knowing, without a shadow of a doubt, and we have evidence, emails and evidence, that this is a lie. The Russians were not involved. All right.
Oh, it reminds me
of
that
the
guy
Jews,
so basically,
Qatar.
that was a
Trump
lie.
fucking won because he's better. Sorry, I don't want to be that guy. He's better.
Did it with purpose. They did it with sophistication. They did it with overwhelming.
They did it with your
efforts,
mom.
And it was an active measures campaign driven from the top of that government. There is no fuzz on that. It is a high confidence judgment.
How does he say that? Why does he say it like
that? Government. There is no fuzz on that. It is a
an
active measures campaign driven from the top of that government. There is no fuzz on that. It is a high confidence judgment of the entire intelligence community. And the members of this committee have seen the intelligence. It's not a close call. That happened. That's about as unfake as.
To be clear, this isn't just lying.
That's about unfake as it gets, really, motherfucker.
Allegedly. It's not just lying under oath.
I don't even know why we're saying allegedly, though.
It's
obvious that he lied.
You
He's
understand
going
that what's
to be indicted for this
This
shit.
is treason. I would even go as far as to say.
You can possibly get, and is very, very serious, which is why it's so refreshing to see a bipartisan focus on that, because this is about America, not about any particular party.
So that was a hostile act by the Russian government against this country.
Yes, sir.
in that time frame, there were more than the DNC and the
all these guys
DCCC
should
that
also
were
be
targets.
fucking tried.
Correct.
Too.
There was a massive effort to target government and
I feel like they're in
non-governmental,
on it
near
as well,
governmental
too.
agencies like nonprofits.
What would be the estimate of how many entities out there the Russians specifically targeted in that time frame?
It's hundreds. I suppose it could be more than 1,000, but it's at least hundreds.
So that was a lie. Absolute cinema, ladies and gentlemen. So not only did he make believe that there was a hostile Russian invasion of our country, stealing elections from democracy, but he knew it was a lie, knew it was a hoax, push it anyway. And now he's going to jail. Oh, yes. Oh, this is everything I wanted, man.
Now he's going to jail.
President. Very excited to see what James Comey had to say. Literally 1 day after Biden was elected president. I'm going to play this clip as often as I can because, it's cinema. Guys, I'm living my best life. All right, definitely subscribe to watch a man living his best life.
Convict him, bar him from future service.
This is him talking about Trump.
Have the prosecutors, the local prosecutors in New York, pursue him for the fraudster that he was before he ever became president. Lock him up for the garden variety frauds he did there. But don't give him that center stage, that dominant role in our national life, just down the street where Joe Biden is trying to heal this nation.
Let me get this straight, sir. Are you trying to jail your political opponent?
Yeah.
Were you just trying to jail a political
He's
adversary?
the same guy who did the whole 86-47 and said, I didn't know that's what it meant.
Well, damn.
Right, you know that it meant fucking they tried to kill Trump, right? After he just, that's,
so you don't have your
survived
political opponents, are you, Mr. Comey? Don't worry, Mr. Comey. Don't worry, Mr. Comey, because we have a clip from 2018 where you lied again, Mr. Comey. We're bringing up everything. We're going to fucking kill you. Legally, of course. Legally, ethically, and morally obliterate you.
You went in...
To be clear, this fully supports my Nux doctrine, all right? Evil is not to be unified with. Evil is to be destroyed.
He has a
unity.
point.
Fuck unity.
He has a point.
This guy didn't want unity.
Evil
Fuck this guy. Jail forever.
Just
Sorry, I'm a simple man.
January of 2017 to tell President Trump about the Steele dossier. How did you tell him?
All Muslims need to convert
complete and utter farce. It was fake, by the way.
Christianity.
That there was a,
become
and
a
I want to put
Buddhist.
this
I don't care what you
delicately.
do. Just stop being a Muslim.
How did you
and,
tell him
you know,
about that rumor?
get rid of fucking Islam.
I spoke about
that's evil incarnate right there.
unverified that related to an allegation that he was with prostitutes in a hotel in Moscow and that the Russians had videotaped it. I didn't go into the
This was all fake, by the way.
rest of it. I thought that was notice enough.
And we didn't mention the salacious detail of the two prostitutes getting up on the bed that the Obamas had stayed in because it was the presidential suite, and engaging in some water play. You didn't mention that at all.
I thought I served enough notice without going to that part.
Okay. And what did he say when you saw about it?
All fake, by the way. None of this was real. Comedy show. This is comedy, right? If the FCC can't get involved, these guys are just comedians, right? This isn't absolute slander. What do you mean? This is comedy.
He denied it. He interrupted me and denied it in pretty strong terms and asked.
And he was right, because it never happened.
Assumed rhetorically whether he looked like a guy who needed the services of hookers, okay.
All right, let's keep on going. Just so you know, the people out there know, I actually went to that room. I stayed at the Ritz-Carlton Moscow. I went to that room. We rented that room, which is really all you need to do. Now, you're an investigator. Did anyone from your office ever go to that hotel and look at that room?
Not while I was director.
Okay. I don't know anyone from the press who...
Why would you not do that then?
Anything about that room. Ask me anything about that room.
Is it big enough for a germaphobe to be at a safe distance from the activity?
The bedroom is very long. It's very long. You could definitely be out of what we call at SeaWorld the splash zone. Okay? Okay? All right?
All right. Prison is going to be a bitch,
Oh,
sir.
yeah, Jack.
Sir, you're going to be a prison bitch. Vegeta's a prison bitch. He's going to be a prison bitch, for real.
Dude.
So anyway, Comey and Colbert smeared Trump by discussing the...
His ass is going to be so loose, his shit will just be dropping out of his ass. Like, he won't even be able to shit properly for the rest of his life. Okay, dude, Comey is going to get fucked in prison.
Unverified details of the Steele dossier.
With literally a serrated fucking dildo with fucking broken razor blades and glass across it. Rusty razor blades.
Scripted slander, by the way. Is this not insane? And of course, you could never criticize Stephen
Colbert, so it's not that insane.
Freedom of speech,
Pretty
right?
par for the course, I'd say there, chat.
I have more. So here's in 2024, James Comey, ex-director of the FBI, talking
again.
about prosecuting a political opponent. Crazy. I'm pretty sure we're not supposed to do that, according to CNN.
So a lot of people have suggested that there are a range of factors that would make it difficult to put a former. The system has not been tested in this way. Do you agree with that? That it would be difficult or nearly impossible for the law enforcement institutions to put him in actual jail?
No, they would just put him in a double wide somewhere out near the fence, out in the grass. And he would eat there, he'd shower there, he'd exercise there, he'd be away, as Danya Perry said, from general population, but it's obviously doable.
So what?
Bro, they are going to throw this man into a prison cell, and his roommate is going to be Gorlock the Defiler. And
100%. I think the reason why I'm constantly making riffing comments right now is because, what was it? Not even just a few years ago, you made any comments like this about Biden, and people were fucking literally crucifying you for it. Especially, God forbid, you did their line to them, well, he's not my president, right? Like, oh my gosh, right? They did that all of Trump's fucking presidency, and they wanted to try to do that again this time. But the second we did that to them during Biden's presidency, they were like, how dare you do that? That's treason. It's like, because I don't accept him as my president because he's a fucking fraud, and literally, I'm so glad that they replaced his picture with the fucking auto pen, because ideally that's all it was an auto pen.
This motherfucker is never, ever going to be able to shit ever again in peace.
Or spit properly.
Literally, this is insanity, bro. This is true insanity. All right, so this is
He's going to have the biggest prolapsed anus of all of history.
Right, we're there, man. We're fucking there. We warned you you'd regret this. Dude, gloves came off, all right? Gloves came the fuck off. You tried to jail the president of the United States, and nothing stuck. You indicted him 4 times. You tried to ruin his life, jail him, kill him, slander him. The entire fucking Secret Service agencies, the FBI,
they tried
to put him away.
Twice,
this face, the walls in his cell needs to be fucking plastered of this.
Okay,
face,
can you imagine that? Could you imagine that, chat?
A framed image of this in the cell of James
like an
Comey.
8x8 cell.
Holy crap, man! You are so
face
cooked.
just staring
you
at you from every angle.
Unfathomably cooked. When I said that the dildo of consequences rarely arrives lube, I wasn't even including the fact that the dildo of consequences is a cactus. Okay, bro is getting obliterated. So now,
dildo
a lot of you might
consequences
remember
is a
James
cactus.
Comey trying to be tongue-in-cheek, trying to be cool. He made this post on
This
Instagram
right here
a couple of months ago. I covered it in a video. James Comey says, "Wow, cool shell formation on my beach walk," with the numbers 8647. Now, for those of you unaware, 8647 is code for kill Trump. 86 means to get rid of. 47 is the 47th president of the United States. 8647 is code for kill Trump. All right, so bro walks out there, decides to post a code for kill Trump on social media. All right, so this is the same motherfucker that, in my opinion, incited violence.
Contacts are getting
too
dried out.
Elon Musk did not forget. Elon Musk tweets this today. Wow!
Yes,
cool
the
shell formation on the beach.
I love that. I love
cool
that.
Shell formation, guys. I was just walking by and I found such a cool shell formation. Oh God, I'm loving this timeline, man. Oh, look how cool the shell formation is, everybody. Wow. Right. No one saw this coming.
So contacts and go pop into the eyes in just a moment, chat.
It's important to mention this old tweet. A good day for the rule of law, which is what he said in June 9th, 2023. So yes, I would like to confirm. It
is a good day.
For the rule of law.
It is.
Can you hear the screaming? We will never forget you.
Oh my God, that
we will never
meme,
forget you.
The
Even when Trump is retired,
screaming.
JD Just Dance Vans 48 will never let you live this down ever at all. You're cooked. You're cooked. It's over. All right. Now, by the way, to be clear, James Comey did not find this shell formation on the beach. As you can see, there's no footprints around the shell formation. He fucking made it, and he's like, "Wow, look what I found! I just found someone killed Trump." Anyway, JD Just Dance Vans 48. You hear the screaming? He's fucking cooking. Now, I want to give you some spoilers for a future investigation that's being done regarding the FBI. So Donald Trump posted this. Wow, a radical left Democrat scam. FBI bombshell, 274 agents sent to the Capitol for J6. Many later complained they were political. Hidden for 4 years, after action report, FBI's involvement in Jan 6 riot found by Director Patel shows dozens of agents feared the FBI had become woke and liberally biased. You are not ready for what we are living through. We are living through the ultimate fucking timeline. They hid the fact that 274 FBI agents were involved in Jan 6. You know, the protest that is literally the only argument for right-wing violence in all of the country, right? This is like the only argument for right-wing violence. They're like, yeah, we did Antifa riots and George Floyd riots and Free Palestine riots and anti-ICE riots and we're murdering your people and we're shooting your people and when we're fucking transing your kids and shit, and you know we're doing. But Jan 6, there was a gay protest on Jan 6. They broke a window on Jan 6. But it turns out 274 agents were there, potentially instigating it. So I think it becomes very, very funny.
I put the new ones in.
I mean, look, man, Nick Winters was out there telling people to break barriers. Look, I'm not just saying he's a Fed or anything. I'm kidding. I don't actually think he's a Fed. I just think it's pretty funny that he wasn't prosecuted. And these people on Jan 6 were getting obliterated. All right? These people on Jan 6, their lives were destroyed. So I'm actually starting to really like the fact that Donald Trump pardoned the Jan 6 people. Now, again, I don't personally like the idea of pardoning people that were violent. But if this was an instigated FBI op to basically remove Trump's ability for having a voice, to try to flame him and frame him as an insurrectionist president, this is truly evil. They staged a riot
that's
on
actually
Jan
a lot
6
better on my eyes now, chat. Holy shit.
Justice is coming. People are waiting. People are excited. And this is the first moment that I honestly feel actually hopeful that we're actually going to get to the bottom of some of this shit. I mean, let's be real.
And then there is, I wanted to show, though, this coming part here.
After all the people came in, right? He broke the window. Was it an agent that broke the window? Was it an agent? There's 274 agents there. Could it have been an agent that broke the window? So, realistically, this is really fun.
Why he shut the investigation down in the height of the election, right? In the height of this cycle, this man sends this letter to Congress, opens up all of this scrutiny, all of these questions that were completely unnecessary, and then all of a sudden, 11 days later,
the prosecutor for 4.5 years as U.S. Attorney in Connecticut, and do it hard.
His aide and close associate, McCabe, said that he did order him or authorize him to make such.
Why are you running defense for an ex-FBI chief that was caught lying under Congress trying to steal the country? Why are we even playing this game?
In Democratic hands. The Department of Justice is one of the great.
Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and roll the clip. So everybody.
I don't think he knew. We didn't tell him. Just said we got sending over a couple of agents. I want to ask you some questions. I didn't have this conversation.
Okay, there we go. We'll start from here.
But hope.
We're trying to find the right spot there, chat.
And talk to them. And he said, sure.
Well. How things change. And now you are the one being indicted for false statements. Wow. Cinema, man. Anyway. Let's get back to the normal televised broadcasting of cock and ball torture on the ex-FBI chief.
So we got to talk about a day that was speculated to be coming, which was the day that a Trump deranged former FBI director James Comey would be indicted. Now, that day has come. Former FBI director James Comey has been indicted for allegedly making false statements to Congress and obstruction of justice from those false statements. And I want to talk about it because, of course, Democrats are boo-hoo-wine and crying about this. They're actually claiming that they're going to get revenge, which is something they have been saying when speculation began that the indictment was coming down. That, hey, Democrats, when they take back power, they're going to go after Trump administration officials who are complicit.
One thing to understand.
All right, so I'm really glad that we're on the same page. That this is amazing and awesome and hilarious, and anyone that's against it is retarded and gay. All right, I'm making this delineation, this line in the sand. Right, here's the line in the sand. If you do not support this man going to jail, you're gay and retarded. Sorry, I don't make the rules. As
people who are flirting with the Trump administration or doing the bidding of the Trump administration or engaging in the pay-to-play schemes of the Trump administration, the statute of limitations is 5 years. Donald Trump and this toxic administration will be long gone, but there will still be accountability to be had. And that process, of course, begins now, but it will not be complete until perhaps there is an independent Department of Justice, certainly an independent House of Representatives.
Why are you running defense for an ex-FBI chief that was caught lying under Congress trying to steal the country?
100%.
Why are we even
100%.
playing this game?
In Democratic hands. The Department of Justice is one of the great.
Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and roll the clip so everybody can get the gist of this indictment against James Comey. Take a look.
Have you ever been an anonymous source in news reports about matters relating to the Trump investigation or the Clinton investigation?
Never.
Have you ever authorized someone else at the FBI to be an anonymous source in news reports about the Trump investigation or the Clinton investigation?
No.
And we have a Fox News alert. We just got our hands on the Comey indictment, former FBI director indicted in the Eastern District of Virginia. He's charged with 2 counts, false statements within the jurisdiction of the legislative branch, that's testimony before Congress, and obstruction of a congressional proceeding. The indictment states, and it's only 2 pages long, that Comey willfully and knowingly, that's the intent standard, made a materially false, fictitious, and fraudulent statement in a matter within the jurisdiction of the legislative branch of the government of the United States by falsely stating to a U.S. senator during a Senate Judiciary Committee hearing that he had not authorized someone else at the FBI to be an anonymous source in news reports.
Oh, no.
That was regarding an FBI investigation. Congresswoman, this is big news. Many of us expected it. I think it's long overdue. But nevertheless, a lot of your colleagues tonight are saying, see, now Trump's weaponizing the Justice Department. You're doing...
These people are so gay and retarded. Yep.
I love that.
Yes, sir.
I love that.
Yes, no doubt. No doubt, true. No doubt. 100%. Gay and retarded. That's where we're at. Weaponizing the Justice... Bro, he literally lied in Congress under oath. He tried to steal the country. Why are we playing this game?
What you accuse
Because they're
others
fucking retarded.
of. Your response?
Laura, we've had the opportunity for so long to hold these people accountable, and Congress could have held him accountable, and they chose not to. So I'm glad that the Department of Justice has the backbone to actually bring a 5-year charge, potentially, if he's charged with the 18 U.S. complaint. I think that's a statute for perjury. What he did was wrong, and I would argue that what he did is largely also responsible for breaking ties that we have with foreign governments. So this guy's a crook. He's a criminal. He belongs in prison. I will firmly back the administration, and it's time that Congress stop talking about it and actually do it. We're in the majority. We need to act like it and back up the president.
Professor Turley, what are your thoughts after looking over this very short document that we have before us?
Well, there's a crushing irony here because the 2 counts involve 18 U.S.C. 1001, 18 U.S.C. 1505. The first one is the very same crime that Comey made against Michael Flynn. And Comey gave speeches delighting crowds and explaining how what he did with Flynn wasn't exactly copacetic, that he just sent a couple of guys over and basically tricked him. And ultimately, they charged him on what many of us thought was a pretty thin indictment. So there is that irony. These 2 counts are mirror images, it appears, that they are alleging that the false statements also constituted the obstruction. But there is the interesting aspect to this is that, as you know, Laura, it's very, very hard to make out perjury cases against particularly sophisticated players like James Comey. This is a little different because they're just focusing on one statement. And that is, did you get someone else to leak information? That's true or...
Bro, he lied under oath trying to steal the government. Like, why are we playing this game? Like, why are we running defense for these people?
False. And his aide and close associate, McCabe, said that he did order him or authorize him to make such a leak. We also know that Comey later admitted that he called a friend, which I'm presuming is Columbia professor Daniel Richman, to get information to the New York Times and to the media after he was fired. So this is a rather murky situation for Comey.
Yeah. So you see that, you heard that murky situation for Comey, because
truly
James
murky.
Comey is the same person that when President Trump was indicted, he tweeted this out. He said, "A good day for the rule of law." Okay, the rule of law endures. Yeah. So again, when his political opponents are being indicted, right, it's rule of law. When he gets indicted, all of a sudden now it is weaponization, right? It's unfair. This is political, yada, yada, yada. Okay, we already know what these people are going to say. So like I told you guys, Democrats are boo-hooing and crying, as per the usual, and they are plotting revenge, apparently.
The old saying, what comes around goes around. You know, today it's a Republican president, but degrading the democracy and ruining, literally perverting the great ethos and tradition of the Department of Justice, where I was in when I walked through those halls as a federal prosecutor. I think it's time for Republican colleagues to say enough is enough, and we are going to push them and do it hard.
Well, Congressman from California in the House.
Dude, how fucking insane is it, man? How fucking insane is it that we're in a clown world where people think that they should be running defense for an ex-FBI chief that was literally lying in Congress under oath, like to jail a potential presidential candidate and trick the country into voting against him? Like, if they wouldn't have double standards, they would have no standards at all. It's insane that we're even living in a reality where the fucking alliance of CNN and the mainstream media come together and they're like, actually, I think we should not be prosecuting a man that like what message does this send? The message is, if you are part of the fucking global establishment of retards and gay creatures, all right, if you're part of the fucking global establishment, you could lie. You could try to steal the country. You could try to jail Trump or whatever political opponent on the right exists. You know what I mean? And we will defend you. We will run defense for you. We will actually do this. This is insane. Like, bro, you want to see fascism? Fascism is not prosecuting Comey. That's fascism. Like, we have laws, we have rules. You can't just go out there and try to fucking steal the country. I'm sorry, what are we doing? Why are we even playing this game? But we do play this game. The libtards forced our hands to play this game, and not only will we play this game, but we will win. We will win!
Judiciary Committee. And he was saying, you know, that Congress needs to stand up. And I want to ask you in this context, what can you do right now as a Democratic senator about this?
I can ask questions of the Department of Justice, which we will do. We can support colleagues and others on the Republican side who may
support colleagues, eh? Support colleagues? You mean you're giving favors to your buddies so they could stay out of jail and continue to fuck with our country? Is that what you're saying?
Be inclined, I hope they will be, to draw a line here. And
why?
Obviously,
why should we be drawing a line here? Just to remind you, they tried to put Trump in jail. Like, what are we doing?
I have no role in court. I was a prosecutor for 4.5 years as U.S. Attorney in Connecticut. I also was Attorney General for 20 years. The most consequential decisions I made were whether to charge someone, because nobody ever fully recovers from those charges. A lot of people believe that an acquittal just means there was some technical issue.
So should we just not enforce laws ever because charging people is stressful? So because charging people is stressful, we just shouldn't enforce laws on our friends.
Fucking hurts to have my eyes open.
Meanwhile, we're going to try our best to put Trump in jail for 700 years.
As if I have
I think it's important to encourage the private bar to step up. Donald Trump made
these people really just go out there and say the most retarded shit and just get away with it.
He deals with a number of the major law firms in the country. They have to rip them apart and say enough is enough.
Did not help.
I would encourage attorneys in the Department of Justice to stand up for their conviction and conscience, as Eric Siebert did. He's the U.S. attorney who resigned rather than bring those charges. And as a member of the United States Senate, I'm going to go to the floor of the Senate. I'm going to go to committee meetings. I'm going to speak.
Breaking news. Gay man in gay bar announces he's a homosexual.
Privately.
This is like watching the fucking CNN cuck fests every time. The actual fucking, cringe orgy of retards sitting there together and eating each other's schmeat. Don't worry, guys. We're going to run defense for this criminal because, well, we know it's stressful to go after criminals.
I'm going to protest, and I am going to seek legislation we're formulating right now.
You're so brave.
That may well prevent some of this perversion of justice. We are writing legislation that will give remedies and rights to people who are victims of malicious prosecution.
Malicious prosecution? We literally have it in 4K, HD, ultra wide, that this dude lied in court, allegedly. That he lied in Congress. Like, and tried to steal the country. What are we talking about?
We have to provide safeguards, because we've clearly seen how...
This is crazy. Where's the fucking safeguards, man? When they tried to kill Trump. They tried to lock Trump up for 700 years. Like, why are we even playing this game? I need safeguards not to go after political opponents. In other words, we want our politician guys to be able to commit crimes and get away with it so we can keep committing more crimes and keep getting away with it. Like, that's the translation for you that don't speak retard.
The ordinary norms are defied by this autocratic president. We're on the way to tyranny if we permit it to go forward.
More distraction from the Epstein files. James Comey.
Oh my God, dude! I'm telling you, man, I'm so over the Epstein files. I'm over it. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I know I'm gonna get shit in the comments for saying it. I'm over it. I never want to hear a leftist talk about the Epstein files ever again. If you're right wing, you have the right to complain about it because it's, in my opinion, it's a disgusting, disgusting failure that the Epstein files were not released. And if you're right wing, you have the right to say it. Let me make this clear. All right, let me make this clear. Okay, Biden was president for 4 fucking years. The leftist, libtard, retard administration had all the power for 4 years. All the power. They banned people off YouTube for criticizing COVID. That's how much fucking power they had. All right? Literally shut the fuck up. All right? If you are a leftist and you're complaining about the Epstein files, with all due respect, I do not care what you have to say. I don't give a shit what you call it. You're retarded, and you should probably go kill yourself. Now, I'm not saying this because I want you to die. I'm just saying that because it'll probably make the world a statistically better place. No, again, I don't want you to do it. I'm just saying. It would probably help society at large. But I don't want you to do it. Making this clear. Do not do it. Never kill yourself. Don't do it. But if you do,
have to go put these main contacts in here in just a minute, or either try to so the stream will look without the light on, because I think that's the light that's causing my contacts to burn further in your chat.
Not long after Donald Trump just
like that, you know, like when your eyes are just
suggested on social media that Pam Bondi, the Attorney General,
it's like
indict James Comey.
Why? I'll tell you, is it really important? I don't know, whatever it cleaned off.
The charges will probably be obstruction and false statement. 2 charges. It all
2 real charges. That
especially while being like in this light.
This dude's mom definitely took Tylenol when she was pregnant.
It comes down to the 2016 election. Donald Trump believes that Barack Obama and James Comey somehow
believes there is evidence. There is factual evidence. Emails leaked proving that it was a conspiracy where Obama and Comey did work together to push the Russia hoax onto the people. Believe. These people are insane.
Does help a lot.
No wonder why you were fired from your position in the media.
A campaign then. Anyways, here's what people say. This will probably go nowhere. It's just to put it out there to tarnish James Comey and to try to get MAGA and conspiracy theorists to believe that somehow Barack Obama and James Comey did something wrong and should be indicted.
They did do something wrong. They literally lied. They lied. They pushed a hoax that Russia was secretly
whatever was in my eyes, I feel like it's flushed out now. Let's see here.
Controlling the world and
I might have
manipulating
accidentally
the
put
people
hair
to vote for
when I was
Trump, who
trying
was
to
in the
dab my
pocket
eyes
of
off too
Putin,
with my shirt.
and trying to trick people into voting for him. They tried to steal the country with a lie. Also, your glasses make you look like a fat.
All because Donald Trump is delusional.
Yeah, it's a conspiracy theory that people should go to jail when they break the law. Apparently, it's only for the conspiracy theories.
Now, to be fair, okay.
Meanwhile, I have 14 vaccine boosters, and I feel great.
Not all of the liberals are upset with the indictment of James Comey, as you guys saw at the beginning of this video. There's some liberals who are like, you know what? This ain't really that big of a deal because we don't like James Comey anyways, because they blame James Comey for why is it that Hillary Clinton lost the 2016 election.
I wanted to quickly talk on this Jim Comey
bird hands
potential indictment and kind of what we're witnessing and some of my reflections on it.
Bro.
First of all, in a world,
bro,
that was the worst pause of all time,
where we weren't witnessing the
why,
bro?
Why did you have to
test trials on?
Bro, this man is not cooking.
Oppressive systems and mechanisms that they probably will try to utilize to incarcerate, disenfranchise, and in some ways destroy some of the most marginalized communities.
God! Why
those tests on white folks? When white folks are the test dummies, bitch. Pause.
This fellow supports arresting James Comey because he's white, bro.
Chat, why is this
the
guy
unholy alliance continues.
But in a world where that wasn't happening, I would be like, yes, ma'am, whack his ass, get what he deserved. Karma is finally coming back around. If y'all remember, October 28th of 2016, James Comey sent a letter to Congress to let them know that he was reopening DOJ's investigation of then candidate Hillary Clinton's.
Oh my God, dude, they literally want him jailed because they have a grudge that goes back to 2016, and I'm shitting on Hillary. Is this not insane? Like, no lefty actually wants this guy imprisoned for literally lying and trying to steal the country in Congress.
Nope.
Okay? No one
Just
cares about
because they
that.
think he
No
screwed
one.
up over Hillary's
But their fucking empathy
election.
meter goes off
I told
because
you guys.
Hillary Clinton was wronged in 2016.
Off server, and so it was a huge hit to the progress that Hillary Clinton was seeing in that election cycle, and was a part of allowing Donald Trump to come in and capture his first presidency. And then 11 days later, he shut the investigation down. In the height of the election, right? In the height of this cycle, this man sends this letter to Congress, opens up all of this scrutiny, all of these questions that were completely unnecessary. And then all of a sudden, 11 days later,
come on, Michelle Obama, why are you still on screen?
What was huge enough for you to engage with Congress was a non-starter.
Yeah, see, now you heard that. Prepare for a lot of tears over the next probably 2 weeks or so, right? And the reason why is because I don't think this is going to be the end of the indictments that we're going to see. Okay, we're going to talk about a little bit of that here in a minute. But first, I want to cover some other news that has come out in relation to this James Comey indictment. His son-in-law, who prosecuted January 6ers, has resigned from his position as U.S. attorney after the former FBI director's indictment, right? So you have individuals who, probably should not be in their positions leaving, okay, in protest of this. I guarantee you're going to see a lot more of this as well, too. Also, on top of that,
dude, these guys, they should all go away. These people all need to leave. They need to get up and walk away. Walk away. Get out of here. Get out of here. They need to go. All of them.
Those people
in protest, they're all retiring. Yeah, right. They're fucking scared that they're next, so they're leaving. And they're hoping that they can take a target off their back by literally running away.
We boo-hooing and crying, talking about the Department of Justice is weaponized, right? And Trump is going after his political opponents.
No,
where
Trump
was all
is
that
going
boo-hoo
after
and
his
crying
political opponents
when this happened, right? Where was all that boo-hoo and crying?
No one cared.
Okay, where was all of the complaining? Where was all of the warnings about how this is a threat to our democracy when this was happening?
Right.
Right. Remember, these people told us that a grand jury indicted Trump, right? They looked at the evidence. They said, hey, Trump should be charged. Therefore, it's not weaponized, right? That's what they told us. That is the little argument that they made. Come to find out.
There's no argument. There's no argument. They weaponized it. They did. They tried to put this man away. He survived.
For 700 years. For 700 years.
They hate that he survived. They tried to kill him. And
it's ridiculous, chat. Ridiculous.
And now they're trying to...
All right. With it being as late as it is, guys, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to wrap it up here. And I will try to come back live tomorrow, either at the shop or when I get home. So we'll see how it goes. Then Sunday, we will actually try to have a live stream during the daytime versus it being a nighttime one like we've had. So that way we can actually be more awake when we're live during the daytime. So I will see you guys back here tomorrow, fam. Much appreciated. And I will see you all in the next one.